Hey, yo. Are we excited for the Chamber tonight? I know I'm not. I didn't even realize there was a pay-per-view tonight when I woke up. It's daylight savings time. I'm exhausted. And then I realized, oh shit. We got a pay-per-view to talk about today. We got a pay-per-view to sit through tonight. Guys, it's not the Elimination Chamber tonight. It's what me and Salrex are calling the Abomination Chamber. Thank you guys so much for joining me on OTS today. Brought to you by Audible. Now hit my fucking intro and hit my goddamn music, bro.
Delete is mine.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast today. I feel like Montez Ford with the fucking red solo cut, man. What's going on, everybody? We're going to talk the Elimination Chamber, or what I am calling with Salrex, the Abomination Chamber. Does anybody even know what the match card is tonight? I had to look. I had to legitimately research what the match card was tonight. And I'm looking over the match card and I'm like, there's one match on this entire show that I'm actually legitimately looking forward to, and that's Daniel Bryan versus someone who I wish was booked like he was in NXT, and that is Drew Gulak. Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak tonight in Philadelphia, the home of Drew Gulak, which means he'll get a loss, obviously, in what should be a 20-minute classic. But I know WWE will probably end up giving these guys 5 minutes, and then any interest in this show will probably go right out the window. But thank you guys so much for joining me here today. We're going to go over the full match card. I do have a full match card for this show. We're going to go over the very predictable preview and predictions for the show tonight. I got some news that is correlating to the Elimination Chamber tonight. I also got some news elsewhere in the pro wrestling world, primarily coming out of Impact, because, I don't know if you guys were aware, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, thankfully he's going to be okay, was rushed to the emergency room, and he had to go under the knife, immediate heart procedure. I don't know what happened. There is really no details on the situation, but we'll go over what happened there and what's being reported with Scott Steiner, so thank God he's making a full recovery. I have some talent news coming out of Impact as well, some free agents. There's a big free agent in the women's division that hopefully AEW, I would say, she'll probably end up in WWE for all we know, because they are sharks when it comes to free agent. But we have a big name free agent coming out of the women's division that right now is free to go wherever she wants. So maybe AEW could start looking at building their women's division. And I got news on Matt Hardy. Also, we'll go over some Matt Hardy news, some news coming out of the Broken Universe for newly free agent Matt Hardy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. It's going to be a very light show because I got to get ready for the Abomination Chamber later tonight. But there is some super chats coming in. We'll go over the super chats throughout the show. I don't want to muddy the show up with the super chats, so we'll save them towards the end of the podcast today. But if you guys missed Off the Script this past weekend, man, I would really urge you to go check it out. Part 1, we talked about Vince McMahon ripping up the Monday Night Raw script. 4 weeks before WrestleMania, this guy's ripping up a Monday Night Raw script that was probably delivered to him in a nice, beautiful package with a big red bow on it by Paul Heyman. And Monday Night Raw is insufferable. It is still insufferable, but it has been a little bit better. We've gotten Monday Night Raw to the point where it is not completely terrible. It's just terrible. So Vince McMahon ripped up the script 4 weeks before WrestleMania, and news came out of that show that Vince McMahon is souring already on Shayna Baszler. Now, we'll go over it again here when we talk about the Women's Elimination Chamber, but why exactly is he souring on Shayna Baszler? Is it because she's not blonde? Is it because she's not a buxom beauty? Does she not have a nice, firm, round ass? Does she not have long legs? Does she not have implants? Does she not act like a fucking android? You know? Is it because she has more wrestling ability in her pinky than anybody else on the entire Raw women's roster? It's fucking ridiculous. So, I ranted on that. I ranted on WrestleMania season, as always. Bill Goldberg's out there in the news making a fucking idiot out of himself, saying that, the minorities out there are the ones crying that I won the Universal Championship. So he says all the people complaining about him winning the Universal Championship are nothing more than minorities. They're a minority vocal group on social media. Meanwhile, WWE's out here boasting about 850,000 likes on the picture and all this other bullshit to try and justify their actions. Just awful situation right now in the WWE. So if you guys missed any of that stuff, links for all the content that you might have missed are linked down below. So I urge you guys to go check out Off the Script this weekend. Really, really good stuff as always coming out of OTS. Also, if you guys are not aware, I got 2 merchandising pieces of information for you. Number 1, go and get your YWC t-shirt. Or the IWC t-shirt. It is the YWC Messiah right now on bonfire.com. You guys order it now, you get it before WrestleMania. If you guys are going to Tampa for WrestleMania, I better see this shirt represented down there during WrestleMania. So make sure you guys go and get it. Bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video and every video, really. So go and get yours today. And I am working with a website. I just got to get approved. I have a design all ready to go. So I just got to give them the design, and we are all set to go. But I'm waiting on a new storefront, and I'm waiting for the approval for that. We will have Off the Script logo hats, fitted hats, the trucker hats, and possibly beanies. So I'm waiting for that. I had a very talented subscriber of mine come up with a beautiful design. I don't want to unleash it yet because I've been waiting for the approval on this storefront. But as soon as we get that approved, Off the Script will now have, finally, logo hats. And I tell you, man, the logo, this may be the very best thing outside of the early t-shirts. I loved the Get Off My TV line. It sucks that I really can't have fun with that anymore due to copyright issues. Pro Wrestling Tees didn't really want caricatures of wrestlers on WWE TV on their storefront. So I understand that, but this may be the very best design, my favorite design, since the early days of the Get Off My TV designs, man. So this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to unleash it and expect that news within the coming days. So I hope that goes over very well with you guys. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. I will be here directly following the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view tonight. I won't be live because there'll be a few other goons in the community going live, but I will be here. The upload will be happening an hour and a half after the show, so make sure you guys look out for that in your sub boxes. If you guys want to support the podcast via Patreon, you guys can certainly do that as well. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And the podcast today is brought to you by my good friends over at Audible, audibletrial.com/off the script. 30 days free of their service and 1 free audiobook of your choice. So make sure you guys go out there and support Off the Script through Audible. And hey, it's a great deal, man. You're getting something for free just for listening to the show. So if you haven't signed up, I say jump on that. It is a very, very good deal. Let's hit the news, man. We're going to start off with the first piece of information that I have here. And that is coming out of Impact Wrestling. Su Yung is now officially a free agent. Former Impact Knockout champion Su Yung is now a free agent, and she's able to sign elsewhere, despite being at the recent Impact TV tapings. This is according to PW Insider. She had a one-off appearance at 2015's TNA Knockouts Knockdown event, losing to Taryn Terrell. That's been a name I haven't heard in a while. Before signing with the promotion full-time in 2018. I know she ran through House of Glory for one match with Sonya Strong a couple of years back, and that was pretty interesting. She was very, very intimidating from where I was calling commentary, man. It was a pleasure to call her match. It was just very different. And, you know, with the women's division and House of Glory getting a complete restructure, and I hope that it's more prominent in 2020 when we start our rebranding and relaunch, I would love to see Su Yung back in House of Glory. She signed, she was signed to a WWE developmental deal in 2010, but she was released a year later after wrestling a few FCW matches. And she also wrestled for Shimmer, Shine, and Rise. And she is the Undead Bride. She's actually the wife of Rich Swann, if you guys did not know that. So she's the Undead Bride, and she would be an absolute asset, really, to any promotion. Honestly, you don't see characters like that. I don't think that would fare well on the main roster. I just don't. It's just not, it's not something that I could see Vince McMahon or WWE main roster getting behind. I mean, she's not blonde. She doesn't have big breasts. She's not a fucking blow-up doll. But I would love to see her in AEW. I think AEW would allow her to continue that creativity as far as that character goes. AEW needs solid acts that could go in the ring. And I think Su Yung would fit that very well. Who knows? She could be in a new stable led by Matt Hardy. If he's not the leader of the Dark Order, he could have some type of broken stable in AEW. Because I know there was rumors going around that Matt Hardy was offered an NXT contract. And they wanted him to stay with the WWE, and they were wanting him to be in NXT. And we talked about this on the podcast last week, and it's like WWE wants to keep Matt Hardy from going to AEW, but they want him to stay, so we'll put you down in NXT because there's no room for you on the main roster, or we don't have anything for you on the main roster. So it's pretty much WWE telling Matt, yeah, we want you, but we want you on Wednesday and not on Monday or Friday, but you're not good enough. But you're good enough for Wednesday. And WWE is pretty much conceding to the point that NXT is the place if you want to wrestle and the place where you want to be creative. The main roster is not for that. We don't have time for that. So go fuck yourself and we'll put you on Wednesday nights. You want it or not? So obviously he turned it down, and there was rumors about WWE giving him a broken stable. Now I don't know what that would mean or what that would entail. Triple H was reportedly said in the talks with Matt Hardy that he has a vision for Matt Hardy. How could Triple H have a vision for Matt Hardy when Matt Hardy's vision is probably fucking taking this thing into the next level? He's probably been visioning this shit for months. He doesn't need Triple H to have a vision for him. Anyway, I would like to see Su Yung in AEW. Maybe she could join the Dark Order. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But I think she would be a really good asset to AEW to start building that obvious weak link in the women's division. So she is a free agent, so I'll keep you guys updated on where she goes and what she's doing. She's done literally everything she could in Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is, in my eyes, a dead promotion. It's used as a platform to get your name out there somewhat, and then when you're good enough and you feel like it's about time you move on to that next chapter of your pro wrestling career, that's what Impact Wrestling is used for. It's used as a nice, safe space for those who just want to be, in the wrestling business to get your feet wet, and then you move on to bigger and better things. So Impact is always where people run through first, and then they move on to do bigger and better things in the world of pro wrestling. So I'll keep you guys updated if you're interested in that. Su Yung, like I said, hopefully she ends up with AEW. Speaking of the Elimination Chamber tonight, WWE announced a return for the Elimination Chamber tonight. Who is it? Is it a major talent? Is it a returning superstar that we haven't seen in many, many, many months from injury? WWE announced the return of a personality that will be joining the pre-show panel on Sunday night. His name, Peter Rosenberg. It's great. How do we make the pre-shows a little less interesting than they already are? Add Peter Rosenberg. How could we add another shill to this show? Just add Peter Rosenberg. If fucking Brillo Head wasn't enough, Sam Roberts, right? Him and his fucking funny Brillo Head hair and his funny little fucking red beard, right? Peter Rosenberg. So, not only do we need Booker T, who sucks WWE cock, Not only do we need Sam Roberts, who sucks WWE cock, now we got a threesome sucking WWE cock on these pre-shows. Oh my God! Holy shit! Peter Rosenberg, who first did the pre-show role with the company in 2016, has been out of the game on the pre-show for a while. He's now back in the company. As WWE.com has revealed, this official announcement came from the Stamford, Connecticut offices, and it says, and I quote, WWE today announced that popular radio personality Peter Rosenberg will join the company as an analyst for its monthly pay-per-view kickoff shows beginning Sunday, March 8th at the Elimination Chamber. In his new role, Rosenberg will also serve as a special correspondent for various WWE Network shows and upcoming specials. Who gives a shit? Seriously, who the fuck cares about Peter Rosenberg? To quote Vince McMahon, at WrestleMania 12, working with WWE is the boyhood dream come true, says Rosenberg. I am beyond thrilled to rejoice in the WWE universe. Who the fuck speaks like that? Seriously. Rosenberg brings his expertise, per this statement from Stamford, Connecticut. What expertise? Sucking cock? Expertise? And insight. Yeah, if I want insight on WWE, I'm certainly not going to fucking Peter Rosenberg. If you want insight, you come to me, motherfucker. That's all you need. Insight to sports fans daily as a co-host of ESPN's New York The Michael Kay Show. Michael Kay. Couldn't even stand him when he was... Is he still doing the Yankees play-by-play? He was the WFAN Yankee... Or I think it was WFAN. Or fucking, I don't know. He was the New York Yankees correspondent. He did play-by-play. He was awful. You talk about someone who sucked cock. Oh my God, he was fucking insufferable to listen to. I remember I had to listen to the Yankees games when my dad picked us up from school, or if we were in my dad's van, or in the car, family night out. We were in the back seat, and the Yankee game was on. He put the Yankee game on. I got to hear this fucking Michael Kay call and John Sterling call the fucking game. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these guys are fucking awful. Which he has helped propel. The Michael Kay Show, Rosenberg, has helped propel to the #1 afternoon drive radio show in New York. You know what? You know what we need as a fucking afternoon drive radio show? Let's get OTS on Sirius. That's all you'll need. That's all you... And then I'll put Bully Ray in his fucking place, that fucking cretin. Who the fuck listens to this shit, man? In addition, he is frequently featured on ESPN's national broadcasts. I'm sorry to hear that. Most recently providing color commentary at the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. He can also be heard every weekday morning co-hosting Ebro in the morning on Hot 97, anchoring one of New York's most iconic and revered media brands. Great. He doesn't belong on WWE TV, so Peter Rosenberg is making his return to the WWE. How many of you are not watching the pre-show now that Peter Rosenberg is now a part of the panel? Probably all of you in this chat right now. How many of you are in here? Let's see. We got about 1170. We got almost 1,200 people in here. There you go. Peter Rosenberg. Awful addition to the WWE commentary pre-show panel team. Just awful stuff there. Scott Steiner. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. You know, his brother Rick Steiner wants a Hall of Fame induction to the WWE, but he feels like WWE isn't going to look at the Steiner brothers for the Hall of Fame because of Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner says he doesn't give a shit about the Hall of Fame. And I think all of us give a shit that Scott Steiner gets out of this latest hiccup with a full recovery, man. This was some scary stuff. I seen Brad Shepard reporting about it on social media. Then I seen Sean Ross Sapp report on it. Then I seen Meltzer and Alvarez talk about it. So I'm like, this is not good. There are not many details about Scott Steiner, but the former WCW and WWE star was reportedly rushed to the hospital after collapsing backstage at the recent Impact tapings in Atlanta, Georgia on Friday night. Steiner appeared earlier in the show and collapsed a short while later while backstage doing a pre-tape segment. He was one of several TNA alum brought back for the tapings, and he is scheduled as of right now. I'm not even sure if he's actually going to be at WrestleCon WrestleMania weekend, but he was scheduled for the TNA one-off show scheduled for WrestleMania weekend at WrestleCon. In another positive update here, this was posted to his Twitter account. Tommy Dreamer says Scott Steiner is expected to make a full recovery. Steiner was scheduled to undergo a heart procedure this week after collapsing backstage at the Impact tapings. Obviously, the news coming out of this is very encouraging because Scott Steiner is going to make a full recovery. Tommy Dreamer tweeted, and I quote, Scott Steiner is expected to make a full recovery. Thank you for all of your concerns and prayers. 99% life plus 1% death equals genetic freak. The Steiner math continues. Holla if you hear me. Hashtag Big Papa Pump. His wife actually took to social media and also said the same thing, thanking not only Tommy Dreamer, but Joey Ryan and Scott D'Amore. Those three individuals were with Scott Steiner as he was rushed to the emergency room. So good on them taking care of Scott Steiner, and hopefully he makes a full recovery. Some scary stuff there, but Big Papa Pump will be hollering, hopefully soon, back on Impact TV. WWE is falsely advertising the Elimination Chamber. Of course they are. Of course they are, because this show, I guarantee you, is maybe 50% full at the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia, PA tonight. So they're falsely advertising the Elimination Chamber, and there is no men's chamber. There's no SmackDown men's chamber. There's no way for the number one contender for the Universal Championship to be crowned. WWE had Roman Reigns just go out there and say, I'm next! I'm next! Those are the famous words of Dana Brooke while she's standing in line waiting for fucking collard greens over in Titus Catering. You know, because Titus loves, doing the catering stuff backstage. And whether it's baked potatoes or macaroni and cheese or Titus's homemade pie, his fried chicken, his fucking whatever. The guy's a master chef of all sorts. I'm next! When she wants seconds. That's what Dana Brooke's famous line is. Roman Reigns came out there, I'm next. Poof. Fucking Universal Championship match. Didn't have to go through the chamber. All he said was, I'm next. Meanwhile, you got Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble. And he's winning the Royal Rumble. He's going on to WrestleMania by the right way. And Roman Reigns, all he's got to do is say, I'm next. And poof, he's got a fucking championship match at WrestleMania. Can't wait to see it fail. Can't wait to see it fail. But I ranted enough on that. You guys know how I feel about that. Now, there is no singles match for the Elimination. Well, there's no singles match for the men. Roman Reigns is just in. So instead, WWE is holding a tag team Elimination Chamber match instead of a men's Elimination Chamber match to crown a number one contender for Goldberg's undeserved Universal Championship. The commercial for the Elimination Chamber was already completed, so they ran it anyway. This commercial features slow motion images of Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman in the Elimination Chamber structure. The commercial says, locked inside. Your only thought is, release me. Yeah, release me from watching this fucking garbage on Friday night, Bruce. Please. Maybe you should release Mustafa Ali from his fucking prison backstage, too. Still waiting on Mustafa Ali. Where is he? The problem is that they featured Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman in these segments. Reigns isn't even booked to compete at the Elimination Chamber. And Braun Strowman is slated to defend the IC title in a handicap match against Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. The unofficial rules of this match, folks, are buried alive. Braun Strowman is going to bury Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro alive at the Elimination Chamber. No mention of the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match was made during the commercial because that match was added, obviously, days later. So they are still featuring the Elimination Chamber commercial with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns is not even advertised on the show, but they don't give a shit because they want you to think Roman's going to be there, and they need a way for this show to sell more tickets. Because who's going to come to this show? I don't even know what the fucking main event is going to be on this show. I'm assuming it's going to be the Raw Women's Chamber, but even that is overly predictable. So WWE is falsely advertising the Chamber, and there you go. Not a sellout, and WWE wants this show badly to be as close to a sellout as possible on the road to WrestleMania. WWE, speaking of the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match, they did not book the Revival inside the Men's Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. Now, instead of the Revival, we got the Lucha House Party, or what I call the Loser House Party. In the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that the Lucha House Party is in this spot, and it was originally supposed to go to Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, and WWE has effectively taken the Revival off television. Good? Good. That means they're out the door. There's always a chance that they could be put into another match, or they could be used in the weeks leading up to their, departure, their upcoming departure, to put some wrestlers over in their final weeks with the company, as they are essentially in the same spot as guys like Jon Moxley and Matt Hardy before they left the company. But I'm not sure if you guys listened to Wrestling Inc.'s podcast. Justin LaBar, I believe, interviewed Victor of the Ascension, or Connor of one of them. He interviewed one of the guys of the Ascension. And their contracts were, I believe, a couple of days or a week or so away from expiring. And WWE released them right as they had contracts coming up. So they had to wait 90 days to do anything. And the Revival is doing the same thing. The Revival is going through the same thing. The Revival have been offered 3 different contracts, and they turned down every single contract, with their contracts being raised monetarily every single time. They've said no. And good on them, because there is obviously no change to the tag team division, so there's no reason for the Revival to take money and end up like Rusev, or end up like the OC. Nobody gives a shit about tag team wrestling in that company, and they realize that. And if they take the money, they're going to be stuck for 5 years. Nobody wants to see them stuck for 5 years, being that the Revival are looked at as one of the best in-ring talents as far as tag team wrestling goes. It's a shame to even think that they would be stuck in WWE for 5 years. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad that they're taking a chance on themselves. Hopefully. Anything can change, but as of right now, it looks like they're about to take a chance on themselves. So the Ascension was released, and WWE forced them to go through the 90-day non-compete. Now, one of the members of the Revival, I believe, has a contract coming up before the other. I don't know who it is, but WWE could do these 2 things. They could add time on top of the other Revival members' contract, so it falls in line with them being, I would say, with the exit coming up, they would be about the same, in the same time frame. And I could absolutely see, if the Revival has turned down all these contracts, I could no doubt about it see the WWE releasing them, instead of having their contracts come up and they could walk and show up on Dynamite the next week. I could see WWE releasing these guys. Fuck you. You're going to have to go through the 90 days, and you are going to wrestle when we say, and we're going to fuck you over. Because we know what you're doing. We know what you want to do. The same thing happened to the Ascension, like I said. They're going to fuck them. They're going to fuck them. That's why they released Luke Harper. Instead of using him, they just released him. So I could absolutely see that same situation happening with the Revival, and it looks like they might get released. WWE is petty, and I can absolutely see them playing that card. So Meltzer noted at this point that they were leaving. See, Moxley did it right. He kind of gave them a little glimmer of hope that he was going to resign and said, fuck this shit, I'm not resigning, and walked out because he knew how petty the company would be. So Meltzer noted that at this point, they are leaving the company next month when their contracts expire, and Wilder and Dawson have retained the services of the same lawyer who handles the trademarks for Cody and several other wrestlers in AEW, and it is likely that they will debut with AEW when they can. The participants in the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match are John Morrison and The Miz, Miz and Morrison, hey, hey, ho, ho. That little catchphrase that they had written by the fucking 3-year-old idiot and creative? Yeah. The New Day, the Usos, Heavy Machinery, Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode. And then the Loser House Party. All of these teams are scheduled to wrestle in this chamber match, and all of these teams were in the gauntlet match on Friday, which was not bad. It wasn't good either, but it wasn't bad. It did one thing, and that was get Heavy Machinery over, and it got Otis over, even more so than he is now. They were originally listed on the Leith card for WrestleMania, the Revival was in Tampa, but it looks like they will no longer be on the show since the Tag Team Chamber match was supposed to be set up in a similar way that we've seen on SmackDown at WrestleMania. And I'll go over what I want to see happen at WrestleMania as far as the SmackDown Tag Team Championships go in just a little bit. A legal battle could be brewing over at least one trademark between the WWE and the Revival. As noted last week, Dash and Dawson applied for the following: FTRKO, Top Guys, Say Yeah, Shatter Machine, and No Flips, Just Fists. Now, clearly they won't be able to use the Revival if they go to AEW. So, they also filed, I believe, the WWE tried to stop them from filing for the Mechanics. And that was their tag team name, I believe, in the early days of their WWE run. And the word in WWE is that Dawson and Wilder have turned down every single offer to stay with the WWE. So WWE is looking to trademark the Mechanics, which was their early NXT name, and they're actually looking to trademark No Flips, Just Fists without the comma, because the Revival actually trademarked it or tried to trademark it with the comma. WWE is trying to trademark it without the comma. So they're trying to fuck over the Revival any which way they can because they know they're leaving. And they were supposed to be in the chamber match, but obviously they are not. Good for them. Hopefully they leave. And I know, I'm just waiting for the news where WWE released Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, and I'm like, yep, 90 days now in effect for both guys, so they can't show up on AEW, which I honestly don't think is going to hurt them, really. I think sitting out for 90 days would actually be beneficial to the Revival. I would like to see the Bucks win the Tag Team Championships and then the Revival come in towards the end of the year and, you know, have a big feud over the Tag Team Championships in AEW. They have so many talents possibly coming in this year, and they're spacing them all out, as we've seen. Lance Archer was promoted to be on Dynamite. They axed that and held it off. Lance Archer's going to debut. Brody Lee is going to debut. Matt Hardy's going to debut. Brian Cage, possibly, right? So you can't have all these debuts just, you know, at the same time. You got to space them out, keep people waiting, keep people thirsty. So WWE, you know, if they release them, it might be beneficial for them to sit home. You know, come up with a plan, go back and forth with the Bucks, come up with a big storyline, get it in place, and then when they are able to come, boom, you kickstart this feud that I think everybody wants to see. Imagine that, man. The Revival versus the Bucks. It's not going to be game-changing. It's not going to be something that is going to take AEW into the million range as far as the ratings go. But, man, on pay-per-view, if you thought that tag team match with the Elite was great, I can't wait to see what these four guys do. It's going to be great. So I could see WWE being very petty with the Revival. Speaking of Matt Hardy has yet to sign a contract with AEW. We all assume he's going to AEW, but he has not signed a contract with AEW just yet. Now, I got more news coming up on the weekend as far as Matt Hardy goes on episode 317 of Off the Script. I don't want to go too much into the Matt Hardy situation, but Matt Hardy is yet to sign a contract with AEW, and this is coming from the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. The newsletter reads, and I quote, "It looks like Matt Hardy is coming in. His WWE contract expired, and he posted a video on 3/4, and at the end of the video, obviously you guys seen, the Bucks showed up at his place in Cameron, North Carolina. 2 days earlier on being the Elite, at the end of the show, Matt Jackson got a phone call, and it showed a North Carolina area code, and Meltzer was told that he has not officially signed a contract as of yet, and is still a free agent at this moment. The fact that he's a free agent is perhaps why he has been allowed to appear at the big event in New York City this weekend. And it was reported that WWE is banning event organizers from booking AEW talent on that show. And WWE went to those extents and went to those lengths because of Matt Hardy. Because they figured, well, he didn't sign with us, so he was in this thing with the Bucks. The Bucks were on his YouTube channel, so they figured that Matt Hardy is going to be all elite. And they went to these lengths to do what they did because of Matt Hardy. WWE is banning event organizers from booking AEW talent on their show. Now, I don't know. I've never been to a big event show. I might possibly attend one of these shows in the future, but I don't know who on the WWE roster was attending this big event show over the weekend. I think Braun Strowman was there. It might have been one of the ladies, maybe Carmella. I'm not really sure, but I do believe Braun Strowman was a part of that. And of course, the organizers are going to listen to the WWE. You know, WWE can't do this. It's illegal for them to do that. But what's going to happen? The organizers are obviously going to listen to the WWE, because if WWE is, you know, working with these organizers to maybe lend a talent or two to these events to keep AEW talent from being there, the organizers are going to listen to the WWE, because the WWE talent is obviously going to bring in more money. WWE talent's going to bring in more people and more notoriety to these events. So that's exactly what's going to happen. These organizers are going to listen to the WWE, even though WWE realistically can't do that. And I see the point of WWE wanting to do it. I know they're petty. I'm not surprised by this news at all. But maybe they don't want AEW talent mingling with WWE talent. Maybe they don't want that type of influence on their talent, you know? They don't want their talent mingling with AEW talent, discussing what they don't like and what they do like, and maybe, you know, the AEW talent kind of luring WWE talent away. Oh, man, when's your contract up? You should come over and be interested in AEW. We're doing some great things, you know? They don't want any of that stuff happening. So I understand it from a business standpoint, but man, oh man, for the people that still don't think there's an AEW effect, every single thing that WWE does in regards to AEW is a part of the AEW effect. AEW has triggered WWE to a point where it's downright pathetic at this point. It really is. And this is just the cherry. I would say this is like several cherries on top of that fucking AEW effect sundae. It's funny. It's really funny to me. Matt Hardy, speaking of Matt Hardy, there was this interesting situation with Matt Hardy, man. He updated, or I guess uploaded, something on his backstory about the broken Matt Hardy character. He said it was the broken Matt Hardy story. So he gave you a full backstory just to give you guys, and obviously he's doing this to get everybody ready for his arrival in AEW. If you don't know what broken Matt Hardy is, or the story behind broken Matt Hardy, he uploaded this and wrote out this entire story on the entire character. So I figured it'd be fun to read it through here. He says, on April 19th, 2016, Jeff Hardy swantoned Matt Hardy through a table from the rafters in the Impact Zone. This incident led to Matt becoming aware of his essence, and his essence was first created, and it was July 7th, 7 AD. Matt's essence was named Zenith, and allowed Matt to utilize more of his brain power, turning him into a supernatural being. On April 1st, 2017, something happened in a match against the Bucks of Youth that led to Zenith being disconnected from Matt's mortal vessel. On November 27, 2017, during a match with another supernatural being, Bray Wyatt, who also contained a powerful essence, Zenith reconnected with Matt's mortal vessel. As time went on, Zenith eventually faded away and became obsolete because of the premeditated actions of the dastardly deity Kennigan, I believe. If I'm mispronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. So the mortal vessel of Matt Hardy is having a dream in this reality, and it's a premonition. In this vision, we see Senor Benjamin digging a grave and then burying the Hardy Boys version of Matt Hardy. After Matt is woken up by Baby Hardy, or the Baby Hardy Boys, one of the 7 deities comes to Matt and declares he's been led astray from his destined path. Matt must find it, seize it, and free the delete. As Matt prepares to train King Maxwell and Lord Wolfgang in the Dome of Deletion, he is visited by the ghost of his broken brilliance. Matt is once again told to free the delete and seize it as the ghost of broken Matt continues to appear. Another one of the 7 deities comes to Matt and proclaims that Matt must be atoned for allowing the evil deity Kennigan to contaminate his essence, Zenith. This contamination is what caused Zenith to disappear from Matt's mortal vessel. Sounds very confusing. Matt tries to connect with an inanimate object, or inanimate objects, that he could once communicate with to no avail. Matt continues to be haunted by the ghost of his broken brilliance. Matt feels like he's losing his mind, even to a point where he snaps and physically destroys one of his oldest friends, Marty Garner. Matt is visited by yet another one of the 7 deities, who instructs Matt to use his magical water from the Lake of Reincarnation to build a roar. Now that stands for Reservoir of Altering Rebirth, to reconnect with Zenith. Sounds like I'm fucking in an RPG story that I'm playing on my PS4. What the fuck is this shit? Matt is told that he has 13 weeks to get everything in order, reprocure his broken brilliance, and free the delete. Matt's friend Rob visits to help Matt transfer the sacred water of the Lake of Reincarnation to the roar that Matt has built. While transferring the water, Rob is hypnotized by an eerie voice that appears to be Sister Abigail, who was exposed to the lake during the ultimate deletion. Rob becomes uncontrollably submissive and allows Abigail to enter the roar. Matt then enters the roar to reconnect with Zenith. Matt successfully becomes one with Zenith again and is mandated by the 7 deities to test his refurbished abilities in a battle on the Hardy compound. Matt wishes to battle his friend Rob, but Rob fears the new version of Matt, and Matt then throws Rob into the roar, where he is reborn as the demonic Ryzen. The fight begins. The fight between Matt and Ryzen, known as the Woken Deletion, rages across the Hardy compound. There are times in this battle where Matt doesn't seem to be in control of himself. You hear orders of run and climb that don't appear to be Matt's own volition. A high-risk maneuver turns out to be a horrible mistake as Matt loses his battle and is defeated by Ryzen. The 7 deities tell Matt that this battle was not about deleting Ryzen, but about deleting Woken Matt Hardy. Infuriated by the result of the Woken deletion, Matt demands answers out of his higher powers, the 7 deities. It is revealed that Abigail, who is only an extension of a much more powerful force, Abomination, infected Matt when he entered the roar. Abomination will eventually completely take over Zenith, ending with the 2013-year-old Essence, all of this being the master plan of Evil Kennigan to destroy Zenith. Matt learns that Zenith is now terminally infected and will perish on 3020, March 2nd, 2020. Matt is crushed by his discovery while having a get-together at the Hardy abode. Matt is depressed, miserable, and taking it out on his family. Rebecca, or Queen Rebecca, slaps Matt and tells him to be the man who will not die. Matt says he's right and vows to roar until he gets his broken brilliance back. Matt roars over and over again, returning as nearly every different version of Matt Hardy there has ever been, except for the one he needs to be, broken Matt Hardy. Abomination continues to destroy Zenith as Vanguard 1 approaches Matt with one last idea to save him. Vanguard 1 is almost crushed by Abomination as he continues to gain a stronger hold on Matt and Zenith. When Matt is back in control, he follows Vanguard 1 to a Man of the Cloth, who turns out to be Matt's old friend Marty Garner. Matt apologizes and confesses his sins to Marty. Marty says that Matt needs God, and only God can show him the way. When Marty comes to the Hardy compound to deliver a special sermon to Matt and his children, Marty's John 3:16 verse triggers Matt into having a prolific epiphany. Matt now knows what he has to procure, and his broken brilliance, he needs to procure his broken brilliance and free the delete. Matt heads outside and makes a call to the individuals that can help save him, which were, as you guys seen, the Bucks of Youth. Story time with JD, going over the fucking Matt Hardy situation, man. So I figured that would be fun to read through. I didn't want to do that on the podcast because, I mean, it doesn't really fit into the overall format of the show, so I figured I'd do it here. I found that to be incredibly interesting. And if you guys were not following the Free the Delete, which you guys should be watching, really, because it's entertaining as fuck, that is the Cliff Notes version, or the Dummy Notes version of what you guys missed on Free the Delete. So let's see these super chats, man. I know I got some super chats coming in. Let's see what's going on here. Give you guys some shout outs. We got Gregory Benson, $9.99 super chat. In the 2 hours I could have spent watching Trash Down, I decided to keep the TV off and listen to OTS, because JD is more informative and entertaining than Bruce Trashard. First of all, we got, what is going on here? The one in the chat. Fuck JD. Yeah, just like I did your fucking mother on Tuesday night during my day off. Go fuck yourself, asshole. This guy's, look at this guy. What is he? Fuck you, JD. Only pussy you get is your cats. This guy's probably over from that other channel. Go fuck yourself, you fucking motherfucker. Anyway, Gregory, thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. What is this? What is this live sex chat? What is this shit? We got sex bots in the fucking chat? What is going on here? This has got to be a YouTube thing, man. Holy shit. What is this, man? Oh my God. And what is this, dude? I don't understand this. I can't even ban all these fucking people. I'm just going to have to leave it. That is ridiculous, dude. I never seen this before. Look at this shit. I can't even fucking keep up with this shit. Sophie, I love sex. Click here. I legitimately didn't know the Elimination Chamber was... They're also talking like real people. What the fuck is this shit, dude? Oh my God. I can't even keep up with the fight. I can't delete the bots. Look how many fucking bots there are. It's sex bot mania. Oh my God, man, that's awful. At least you guys are watching. I don't even get. What am I gonna do? It's a YouTube glitch. No shit, it's a YouTube glitch. That's ridiculous, dude. That's crazy. They got to get rid of that. I knew I was watching back my Final Fantasy VII stream, and there were sex bots in the fucking Final Fantasy VII stream I did, too, for the demo. There's no way I could delete all that shit, dude. It's ridiculous. I may slow the chat. I may slow the chat down. Can I do that? I don't even know, dude. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's get to the super chats. Gregory, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, bro. Matt L., what is your logical ideal program for Drew coming out of WrestleMania with the title? Randy Orton. Randy Orton. What is it going to be? It probably end up being Jinder Mahal. Thank you for the $9.99, Matt L. Kevin, $20 super chat, bro. Thank you so much, brother. If you love wrestling, check out the FCW story on the WWE Network. People like Sasha, Charlotte, Rollins, Bray, and JD's favorite, Corey. Oh, this man, right? Corey? This guy right here, right? Yeah. Corey Graves. Yeah, I got to go watch that, man. I haven't been keeping up. The one thing I am interested in, to be honest with you, is the Austin Broken Skull sessions with Bret Hart. One of the greatest feuds in the history of the company, man. I can't wait to see them two just talk about what they did together. Unbelievable stuff there. I can't wait for that. Kevin, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate it. Javier, $20 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Thanks, JD, for the hard work. And we know watching this crap is hard work. It absolutely is. Keep up the good work. Javier, thank you so much, brother. We got Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. Keep forgetting there's a pay-per-view today. Yeah, the Elimination Chamber is today. Did you see the Blood and Guts match participants announced? No, were they announced? Were they announced already? I gotta look into that. Have not. Let me see. Let me go to one of the websites. Maybe we see. I have not seen anything yet. I got a couple of various sites that I go to. Let's see if we have anything announced. Oh, yeah. Wow. They did announce him. Look at this. Breaking news here, folks. AEW reveals participants for the first ever Blood and Guts match. Match announcement, March 25th, Newark, New Jersey, at the Prudential Center. It's the Inner Circle versus the Elite in your main events. This is their version of War Games, so this should be great, man. Can't wait to see what's happening there. It's going to be Jericho, Hager, Guevara, and Proud and Powerful versus Cody, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, and the Elites. And the Young Bucks, a.k.a. the Elite. It's going to be great, man. That is awesome. Holy shit. Can't wait to see what they do with that bit. It's going to be fucking crazy. And hopefully they go commercial free. Honestly. That would be fantastic. So, there you go, guys. Breaking news. Blood and Guts has been announced. It should be awesome. And I'm not going to the show. I did try to get tickets, but it sold out pretty quickly. And it's going to be a raucous crowd in New Jersey. So we got Steve Winyard, a £5 donation. Ronda beating Shayna in the chamber would be another part-timer going over the future. Still, it would be worse with Nia Jax. Yes, Nia Jax, she has no reason to be in the Elimination Chamber. Nobody wants to see Nia Jax, period, back on WWE TV. So hopefully she stays away. Go do your plus-size modeling, honey. We don't want to see you in a pro wrestling ring. So thank you, Steve, for the £5 super chat. And then he does another £10. One clown on social media told me Shayna was boring and Lacey Evans was better. Bro, when you run into people like that, just delete them or mute them or block them because those people don't really deserve the air we breathe, please. Yeah, I buried the idiot, but where do these people even come from? They come from parts of social media where you do not want to dwell, believe me. Jose Inoa, $5 super chat. JD, what the fuck? 1K watching as of this writing and only 200 plus likes. Please call me a goon. Fine. Well, Jose, you're a fucking goon. And yeah, man, we got 1,500 people watching and there's only 437 likes? Yeah, I can tell why. There's a bunch of sex bots in the fucking chat. They're not real people. They ain't hitting the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up on the chat, please. I would really love it, man. So we got Robert with a $10 super chat. JD, you coming to SummerSlam weekend in Boston. I would love it if you did a meet and greet and I could finally meet you there. A lot of great craft beer in Boston. Robert, I don't think I'm coming out to Boston for SummerSlam. And yes, there is a lot of great craft beer in Boston. One of my favorites is Trillium Brewery. So I'll see, man. I'm attending a wedding that same weekend in Texas. So I'll be working on the podcast on the road. But it's my friend Jake. He's getting married. And he invited me to the wedding. So, I didn't want to say no. So we'll see what happens, man. If it's anything, it's going to be a last-minute thing to Boston, but probably not. I'm not even going to Vegas for Double or Nothing. I'm staying local, so I'm not really attending many wrestling shows this year. Harold Warren with a $20 super chat. Rest in peace, Shayna Baszler's WWE push. Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight, man. In the main event, I believe it's going to be the Raw Women's Championship chamber match, or the number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania in the main event. If Shayna wins, it's not going to really be a great way to end the show. I could see WWE maybe having a surprise or maybe altering the match in some way. I don't know. Ronda Rousey was at the headquarters this week, and a lot of people are speculating that she could be added to the chamber. I don't know. I don't really know. So we'll see what happens, but I'm anticipating that being the main event of the show. And I'm sure with the way Shayna has been received already on the main roster and the news of Vince McMahon souring on her, I could absolutely see some sort of booking change for the Chamber and WrestleMania. Harold Warren, thank you for the $20, bro. I really appreciate it. Top Kirby, $5 super chat. This is quickly becoming a red-hot gimmick on your podcast, but where is Mustafa Ali? I don't know. I don't really know, man. He's probably trying to thwart Catwoman for some crime she is about to commit in Gotham City. I don't know where the fuck he is. But everybody thinks that these glitches in the system on SmackDown is for Mustafa Ali. Some people say it's for Killer Cross. I have no idea. I don't really know, man. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Top Kirby. Kevin with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, did you see Sasha Banks staring at the SmackDown Women's Championship on Friday? Thoughts? Yeah. The rumor is that there's going to be a six-pack challenge at WrestleMania. And you know what I say to that? Fuck the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's the best you got at WrestleMania? That means that Lacey Evans is going to win the SmackDown Women's Championship without pinning one of the more notable women in WWE. That's what that means. And that is fucking awful. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Kevin. Undisputed Era with a $10 super chat. Hey, JD, I will be bringing an off-the-script sign to WrestleMania weekend, but I believe Black vs. Styles would be better if winner got Taker at Mania. Also, we should play some Nintendo Switch sometime. I'm not really on my Switch as often, bro, but I really appreciate the support of WrestleMania for the off-the-script sign. Hopefully, you guys got good seats, and hopefully the sign is represented proudly at WrestleMania where we could see it on TV. I don't want to get a Mustafa Ali t-shirt out. This one comes from NK with the 199-pound super chat. Where's the Mustafa Ali t-shirt, JD? By the time I make the t-shirt and come up with a decent concept, he'll be back on TV, so that's why. Harold Warren, WWE 2020 equals WCW during its dying days. It may be worse than WCW, bro. Thank you for the $15 super chat. Jake Dunning, the Beast. Thank you for the $20 super chat, bro. Hey, JD, what are your thoughts on AEW Blood and Guts show coming up? They just announced the main event for the show. We just went over it. It's going to be awesome, brother. I can't wait. Thank you for the $20 super chat. OJD says double A, $2 super chat. The tag team match was good, man. What tag team match, bro? Oh, the one on SmackDown? Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, Otis and Heavy Machinery made it good, but it got the lowest rating since January. Because the show sucks. Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. He says, and where are you, bro? I just lost you. Holy shit, I just lost you. Where the fuck are you? We got so many coming in. Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. Young Bucks versus the Revival will happen this year. Of course it will. It's going to be fucking awesome when it does. Flamio, $4.99. Been following you since 2016. All love, man. Would love to meet you and grab a beer and talk wrestling. I don't know where you're coming from, bro, but that sounds good to me, as long as the Guinness is cold. Thank you for the $5. Midnight Crisis. I'll tell you what is a crisis. WWE Creative. JD, respect to you, bro. You tell the truth, bro. Let me read that in my Vince Russo voice. JD, respect to you, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. You tell the truth, bro. Thank you for the £2 super chat, Midnight Crisis. I really appreciate it. Stephen Field with a $4.99 super chat. Nice to have an informative and truthful podcast about WWE. Thank you, JD. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, Stephen Field. And thank you for the $5 super chat. IBNF James, $10 super chat. What's up with all the Charlotte Flairs in the chat, bro? I don't know. I gotta do something about this. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I can't even see legitimate people chatting. It really sucks. Look at all these emojis. Look at all these emojis, man. I don't know what's going on. I got a JD sexbot crisis. What the fuck is going on here, man? Fucking ridiculous. Thank you for the $10 super chat, James. I really appreciate it. George Isaac with a $5 super chat. He says nothing. Thank you, George. I really appreciate it. Adam with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, I love your videos. And also, what happened to your live streams during pay-per-views? I never used to do live streams during pay-per-views, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. That's for the other people in the community, not for me. Thank you for the super chat, though, Adam. I really appreciate it. Mary Helen Cook with a £3 super chat, and she leaves a dog emoji saying, my hero. Now, I'm no Mustafa Ali. I'm not fighting crime out there, but I really appreciate that, Helen. Thank you so much. M. Gene with a $1.99 super chat. Does Titus up his catering game for pay-per-views? Of course he does. Of course he does, man. Titus has been taking bakery lessons. Now, Titus Bakering isn't where he wants it to be, so he's been upping his game. Apparently, Dana Brooke is a big bakery fiend, and she has a big sweet tooth, is what I'm hearing. So thank you for the $1.99 super chat, Gene. I really appreciate it. BW Rojas, or Rojas, $5 super chat. Knowing WWE, do you think they will screw up Otis and Mandy? Who else do you believe will be AEW bound from WWE? And Hog is better than WWE at this moment. Well, Hog is in its working stages to get their rebranded launch going. But thank you. Can't wait to get back to work. And what is this? Jesse's texting me. I sent you this lineup just before you went live, asshole. You already had it. What is he talking about? Yeah, bro, listen. I got so many things going on here, bro. I'm sorry. So shout out to Jesse. I actually got it from Jesse before I got it from anybody else. The Blood and Guts participants announced. So let me give him a shout out. I don't think they'll screw up Otis and Mandy. And anybody is AEW bound from WWE. I don't know. I don't really know, man. I don't think they need anybody from WWE, honestly. they're doing their own thing, and I'm happy that they're hitting their stride. And Dynamite's probably been the best thing on TV right now, especially as far as pro wrestling goes. But I don't think they'll screw up Otis and Mandy. I think the payoff needs to happen at WrestleMania. That's what I think. Cindy York, $5 super chat. Thank you, Cindy. Midnight Crisis with another £5 super chat. Respect to you, JD. Always telling the truth. Thank you, brother. Kevin, $5 super chat. JD, you need some moderators for your chat to block these goons. So I don't even think a moderator would help here, bro. Honestly. Just so many. We got Glorious Trico. $10 super chat. Goon, I'm going to Dynamite in New Jersey for Blood and Guts. Do you have a P.O. box to send you a shirt? I want to pick you up pick you one up for all the awesome work that you give me. Also, can I be called a goon? Well, Glorious, you fucking goon. I do not have a P.O. box, but thank you anyway, brother. I really appreciate it. We got Minty, 619, £5. WrestleMania. We got Bayley versus Sasha versus Naomi versus Lacey Evans versus Carmella versus a sixth mystery woman, which will probably be Nia Jax. I don't know if you knew this yet, bro. Just letting you know. Yeah, it's awful. It really is awful. Undisputed Era, I wouldn't be surprised if Liv Morgan wins the Elimination Chamber. I hope not. $2 super chat there. Chris Sinister, $4.99 super chat. Who do you think will come out on top in the Blood and Guts main event? Think Hangman will turn. That is a good situation. It's a good place to do it. We'll see what happens. I eventually expect him to turn sooner rather than later. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, Chris. Urban Tiger, WrestleMania 36, 99% vomit, 1% good. The only thing about it is Randy Orton versus Edge. Glad I'm not going or watching WrestleMania this year. I don't know who the fuck would want to go to WrestleMania. It's fucking awful every year. It's one of the worst shows in wrestling all year. Thank you for the super chat, Urban Tiger. Philip Black, thank you for the Kevin Dunn laugh. It has been making my day for years. You're welcome. When the Kevin Dunn laugh needs to be brought out, I'll bring it out. But thank you for the $12 super chat, Philip Black. We got Saber39 with a Canadian $2 super chat. Thank you for all your work. Been watching the shows. Or beats watching the shows. Thank you so much, Saber. RA with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. We got NK, a £1.99 super chat. JD, are you going to play The Last of Us 2? Of course I am. It's one of my favorite games ever. The first one, I loved it. We got Wildfire. $1.99 super chat. I heard Otis and Mandy are really dating. I think they are. And good for Otis. He deserves it. Zach Wiles, $4.99 super chat. JD, for the love of God, call me a goon right now. Zach Wiles, you fucking goon. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. And Undisputed Era, $2 super chat. Is the House of Glory Training School relocating? It is already relocated. It's now in the NYC Arena, Club Amazura. So that is good for them. And I heard that it's going very well with the relocation. So thank you guys for all of that. Thank you for all the super chats, guys. Let's get into the official pay-per-view card for the Elimination Chamber. Now, let me see what I got here. Okay, here we go. We got Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak is from PA. The pay-per-view is in PA tonight. WWE has an edict in place. No question that if you are wrestling in your hometown and it's on live TV, you are to suffer the loss. Man, it sucks about Drew Gulak, bro. It really does. The guy has had a career year in WWE for his run as Cruiserweight Champion and the matches he put on, the match quality that was. How they took him from NXT and 205 Live to put him on SmackDown and they gave him this fucking bullshit PowerPoint presentation gimmick. It's so fucking awful. It really is. It's not even funny. It's not. I like the bruiser. I like the fucking intimidating Drew Gulak. The way he was when he was wrestling Kushida and Matt Riddle. That's the Drew Gulak I want. Not this fucking main roster clown. Daniel Bryan apparently is pitching his own storylines, and he's pitching his own storylines to WWE Creative. And this is one of his ideas. He wanted to work with guys that are not getting an opportunity. You see how selfish, or how not selfish, how selfless Daniel Bryan is. He wants to work with Curtis Axel, Heath Slater. He did it with Mustafa Ali last year, right? He was the reason why Mustafa Ali got a break on the main roster. And now he's doing it with Drew Gulak. So it's great to see Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak should be given, realistically, on this fucking non-existent piece of shit bullshit show, they should be given all the time in the world to go out there in front of Gulak's hometown and just rip it up. Daniel Bryan's going to win, and I am hearing rumors of Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. I would rather not be, because that would be the third time that they wrestle at WrestleMania. I'm sure they could come up with something a lot more interesting for Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania if they want, but I know they won't. But I'm going with Daniel Bryan, and he's going to get the win over Drew Gulak in what I should think would be the best match of the night. No disqualification match, AJ Styles versus Alistair Black. Now, we went over this on Monday. Alistair Black, as it looks like he was fed to the AJ Styles Undertaker feud. Don't know why whatever happened on Monday happened. He had to go through Luke Gallows, he had to go through Carl Anderson, and then AJ Styles. He was phenomenal forearmed, was Black, and then AJ pinned Black in the same way the Undertaker pins his opponents after the tombstone. I said, Alistair Black didn't really deserve that, even though it was a beatdown of 3-on-1. But WWE clickbaited the audience. They clickbaited you, the audience, into thinking that you were going to get a Black versus Styles match in New York, which would have been great. And then you didn't get it. And they needed to save it for the pay-per-view because they have nothing else booked for the show. So what they did is they did that there, booked this match for the show, made it no DQ, and now they made it even more predictable because AJ Styles is not going to lose clean. If he does lose, he's not going to lose clean. And AJ Styles really can't afford a loss going into WrestleMania with The Undertaker. He's already lost to The Undertaker. Right? A fresh AJ Styles lost to The Undertaker in Saudi Arabia with one fucking chokeslam that looked horrible. So I'm at this point already. I don't believe AJ even going into an Undertaker match. I don't believe he will win just by what happened in Saudi Arabia. But I could see The Undertaker coming out. I could see The Undertaker returning tonight. If not The Undertaker, I could see Kane coming out. And AJ already has his thing with The Undertaker. It would probably make more sense if it's Kane coming out and helping Alistair Black, because he is going to defend his brother and he's going to help Alistair Black win. I don't understand, if The Undertaker comes out to help Black win, where does that leave Alistair Black at WrestleMania? It's as if you don't really have anything planned for Alistair Black going into WrestleMania. Now, if you did the Kane situation, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear, but if you did Kane, it would lead to a Brothers of Destruction and Alistair Black teaming up in a 6-man tag versus the OC. That makes more sense, because then you get Alistair Black on the WrestleMania card, whereas if The Undertaker helps Black win here, what are you going to do at WrestleMania? You're going to do Black and The Undertaker versus the OC in a handicap match? You're going to do The Undertaker versus AJ Styles? Where's Black going to be at WrestleMania? I feel like this is going to get Black his win back by The Undertaker helping him win and beat AJ because of what AJ did to mimic The Undertaker on Raw, but at the end of the day, it's not going to lead to anything for Alistair Black at WrestleMania. So what exactly are you doing here? What exactly are you doing? You beat Alistair Black on Monday and ruined his undefeated streak, all for the sake of this feud. And then you're going to book him in a match that we should have got on Monday to only leave him out of WrestleMania? I don't get it. I don't really understand the logic here. And Raw was booked by Vince McMahon, so you got what you got. You got what you got, and Vince rewrote the entire script. I would love to see what was on the original script going into Raw, before Vince rewrote it. I'm going with Black. I'm going with The Undertaker returning. There are rumors running wild that he'll be in Philadelphia, and I can absolutely see that happening. Again, Kane, to me, makes more sense in defense of The Undertaker, and then we see the Brothers of Destruction and Alistair Black. That would be his WrestleMania moment, teaming against the OC. That's just, to me, more logical. I'm going with Black with the assist from The Undertaker. United States Championship, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo. I'm going with Humberto to get the win. Andrade, he's going to be buried. Why? He lost on Monday. Humberto pinned him. That's why we're getting this match. Humberto has lost and lost and lost and lost. Didn't Angel Garza? No, but listen, hasn't Angel Garza beaten Humberto in like 3 straight weeks? Right? So why isn't Angel Garza getting a United States Championship match. All it took was for Humberto to pin Andrade in a tag team match, and poof, he's got a United States Championship match. Now, this has been ongoing week after week after week after week. He has failed in every opportunity for the United States Championship. Tonight is the night Humberto wins the United States Championship, and then he could drop it to Angel Garza at WrestleMania. They're only doing this match to get the title off Andrade. It's like they're punishing him for being suspended, for being in violation of the wellness. Humberto's going to win, and whether we get Humberto versus Angel Garza at WrestleMania for the United States title, or maybe we get a four-way between Rey, Andrade, Humberto, and Angel Garza at WrestleMania, which I don't want, because it seems like they're loading this show up with too many multi-man matches as usual for WrestleMania. I think Humberto's going to win the title, and then Angel Garza wins the title at WrestleMania. That's just my prediction there, but it should be a good match. I don't really give a shit. It'll probably end up being on the pre-show, to be honest with you, because they have not featured the United States title or Humberto or Andrade on the main show in this entire ordeal. So I could see it absolutely being on the pre-show, and I'm going with Humberto to win the United States Championship. But again, it doesn't make sense. Humberto has lost to Angel Garza, yet Angel Garza's not getting the title shot against Andrade. It's Humberto, because in WWE logic, he pinned the champion. He pinned the champion. We got to give him a title match. Awful, awful, awful booking. Tag Team Championships, Monday Night Raw. Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. I don't know why they did the tag team match on Monday. I don't know why they did the title switch on Monday. In a now or never match, it was like, it was more like a Street Profits win the title now match. Awful. Street Profits lost every which way to Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, and they still get a championship match. Why? Because tag team wrestling is non-existent on the main roster. Did not like it. I did not appreciate it. I didn't jump for joy. I wasn't excited when the Street Profits won the title, because I said this on Monday Night Raw. Where the fuck was the chase for the Street Profits? They got brought up. They were not featured like they were in NXT. They were weathermen, or they were fucking SNL fucking doing comedic skits like Saturday Night Live. It was awful. It's fucking awful. Trying to be funny, and they came off painfully cringe. Said they should have been a tag team that was legit and taken seriously and running through the tag team division on their way to becoming tag team champions, but WWE didn't, book them that way. So now we got Rollins and Murphy going again for the tag team titles. Rematch clauses are no longer a thing in WWE, but all Rollins has to say is, I want a rematch, and poof, he's got a rematch. So this match could have easily been saved for the show. Instead, they did the very predictable thing in taking the titles off of Rollins and Murphy on Monday. They could have left that match off of Raw. They could have did it on Sunday and do the title change there. And it just shows lazy booking, man. Kevin Owens came out and helped the Profits win the titles. Should have saved it for the pay-per-view. All WWE wanted to do was have a big moment in New York, in Brooklyn, in the Barclays Center, right? They could have saved that moment for the title change here and not do the rematch. But we're going to get the same match, and we're going to get the same outcome for this match that we seen on Monday. It's not going to be a title change, but Kevin Owens is going to help the Street Profits win, and it's going to set up Rollins and Owens at WrestleMania. Now, where does that leave the Street Profits for the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania? I don't know. Viking Raiders, maybe? Maybe AOP? I don't know. And I don't care, because I am not invested in any of these teams. I'm not. I'm tired of complaining, bitching, and moaning about tag team wrestling on the main roster. Raw has a shit women's division, and Raw has a shit tag team division. It really does. And I don't know why the Street Profits are going into WrestleMania logically here as this is WWE logic, by the way. It's not logically the right decision, but this is WWE logic. Why are the Street Profits going into WrestleMania as the tag team champions? Doesn't make sense. Rollins and Murphy should have went into WrestleMania as the tag team champions, and Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe should have been the team to take the titles off of Rollins and Murphy, so the Street Profits even being champions doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now we're stuck with a Rollins and Owens match that I just don't give a fuck about. And where does that leave Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania? Where does that leave ALP at WrestleMania? Where does that leave Samoa Joe at WrestleMania? It's like WWE took the worst route going into WrestleMania possible. Street Profits win here with the help of Kevin Owens, just like you've seen on Monday. No difference. Intercontinental Championship, Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn match in what I am calling a buried alive handicap match. Braun Strowman will win, and he will bury all three of these guys. There's no way WWE's taking the title off of Braun Strowman yet. What I would have happen here is I would have Sheamus come out and attack Braun Strowman. I would have him go through these guys. I would have him struggle a little bit. At least throw Nakamura and Cesaro and Zayn a bone here, right? I would have Strowman overcome the odds, win in a very predictable manner, and then I would have Sheamus come out, and I would build the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania as Sheamus versus Braun Strowman, and I would make it about how Sheamus is looking to take the Intercontinental title because it's the one title he has not had yet. It's the one title he's not won yet, and the story is there. But WWE seems to be going into WrestleMania season avoiding story. They're doing everything possible to not book stories at WrestleMania. That's a story. They won't do that at WrestleMania. They'll probably book Sheamus versus Bryan and then Braun Strowman. I guarantee you, if it's not Strowman and Sheamus, I guarantee you it's going to be Corbin and Strowman at WrestleMania. What else is Baron Corbin going to do at WrestleMania? He went into that feud with Roman, lost, and now he's got nothing to do. I could see Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman for the IC title at WrestleMania. And my God, somebody better hand me a fucking pillow. What are those pillows? Those fucking fluffy pillows that stay cool. You know, that I see on the infomercial. I forgot the name of it. Hand me a fucking pillow, please, a NyQuil. Holy shit. Strowman's going to win. Sheamus is the right opponent for Strowman at WrestleMania, and that's the way I'd book it. But in other news, I'm going with Strowman to retain the Intercontinental Championship. There's no way around it. They're not going to take the title off of him. It's too early. Elimination Chamber match. SmackDown Tag Team titles. This is replacing Roman winning. They gave Roman the easy route to WrestleMania, so that's that. Miz and Morrison, hey, no. Versus the Usos, versus the New Day, versus Heavy Machinery, versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, versus the Loser House Party. I don't really give a shit about that. The only thing I'm interested in here is Otis and Dolph. That's all I care about. Really, that's all I care about. They got to take the titles off of Miz and Morrison. They have lost twice now. They lost to the Usos the day after winning the titles in a non-title match. And then they lost in the gauntlet to Heavy Machinery. So what I would do here is the following. Simple booking. This is what I would do. I would have Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode win the Tag Team Championships in the Elimination Chamber. I would book Heavy Machinery versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And I would have Otis make the pinfall on Dolph, winning the tag team titles for Heavy Machinery at WrestleMania, giving him the WrestleMania moment. I would book it around Dolph winning the tag team titles and Mandy on the arm of Dolph, and she sees how cocky he is, and she keeps thinking about how Otis is sad, and she's looking at Dolph being an asshole. And eventually at WrestleMania, with Mandy in the corner of Dolph and Bobby Roode, I would have Mandy cost Dolph the tag team titles, leading to her joining Otis and Heavy Machinery winning the tag team titles. It's simple. Fuck the New Day. Fuck the Usos. Fuck Miz and Morrison. Forget the Lucha House Party. I am sick and tired of the same teams getting booked over and over again. There's no story. None. Between any of these other teams but Heavy Machinery, Dolph, Bobby Roode, and Mandy Rose. So that's the story you need going into WrestleMania. Do it. Have the heels win. I'm not about hot-shotting titles, but it makes sense. It really does. Have the heels win here. Have Dolph and Mandy continue. Have the story with Otis continue on SmackDown. It's the best. It's the only reason why people watch SmackDown nowadays anyway. Have them win the tag team titles. Have Mandy kind of grow tired of Dolph. And have her turn on Dolph at WrestleMania. And Heavy Machinery gets the WrestleMania moment and the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Simple. It is simple booking. You did the gauntlet match around Heavy Machinery and Dolph and Mandy and Otis. Same thing. The tag team titles and your title match at WrestleMania should be built around that. Very, very easy booking. Otis is over. The gauntlet match got Heavy Machinery over. Continue that. Make that the focus going into WrestleMania. I can't stress that enough, really. And then the Elimination Chamber match for the Raw #1 contender Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Winner goes on to fight Becky Lynch. Cringe. Becky Lynch cringe at WrestleMania. Shayna Baszler, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan. This is more than likely going to be the main event, and if it is the main event, I expect some sort of surprise here. Now, Shayna Baszler is rumored to have fallen out of favor with Vince McMahon. I don't know why. The chance of this is boring on Monday night kind of sealed the deal, apparently, for Vince McMahon. This is the same woman that was booked in the... What was it? The main event of that show? Well, Becky Lynch and Bayley and Shayna Baszler was the main event of Survivor Series, right? That match didn't go off as planned. It was very boring. Whoever produced that match, whoever booked that match did an awful fucking job. Shayna did not look good coming out of that. That match was awful. Shayna has looked good in promo. Shayna has looked good in character. And I see a huge deal with Shayna being on the main roster. And then she has one match on Monday Night Raw, scheduled originally against Asuka. And then WWE gave Asuka this storyline injury, wrist injury. And they probably figured then, well, we don't want to do Shayna and Asuka. We don't want to beat Asuka going into the Chamber because that's probably going to end up being the final two in the Chamber. So they saved that and booked Kyrie versus Shayna on Monday. But the thing is, Shayna was booked against a heel. Asuka is more over than Kyrie, but it would have resulted in the same thing. Shayna was booked against Kyrie, who is a heel. It was heel versus heel. Yes, the crowd did not know who to cheer for. The crowd was looking at two heels going at it one-on-one. How was that supposed to get anyone over? Of course the crowd was going to be indifferent. They didn't know who to fucking cheer for. And then Shayna's style, is not something that you normally see on the main roster. And this is what WWE has conditioned the fans to look at. This is Shayna Baszler, who is doing this grapple wrestling, this catch-as-catch-can style wrestling, right? This amateur wrestling background that she has. And people are looking at it and like, what the fuck is this shit? This is very boring. The ground and pound, submission-based, methodically working your opponent down, weakening your opponent, wearing your opponent down. Nobody's going to appreciate that on the main roster. This is how simple-minded the fan base is. They attribute that to it being boring. But I don't blame any of that on Shayna Baszler. I don't. I blame that on who produced the match, because Shayna and Kyrie had gems in NXT. Gems! Now it happens on the main roster, and it's fucking inferior to whatever they did in NXT. How the fuck is that possible? How is that possible? Yes, I'm going to blame Shayna Baszler for that. How could you take Shayna Baszler, who's been on the main roster for 4 weeks, and already, A, ruin her, and B, fall out of favor with her because of a "this is boring" chant, and because you booked her like a fucking idiot in a heel versus heel match? You know what else is killing Shayna Baszler? The fact that Becky Lynch is fucking terrible. That's what's ruining Shayna Baszler. Because I said this in my rant on Saturday. Go and check it out. I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version here. How could Shayna be looked at by the fans as an intimidating threat to Becky Lynch in the Raw Women's Championship if Becky Lynch is coming out wearing a fucking clown-like robe, and she's wearing a fucking crown, and she's wearing meme sunglasses and pretending that she is queen shit, and she's not afraid of Shayna Baszler? This woman was in the ring biting Becky Lynch's neck, and Becky Lynch is coming out there in a complete deviation away from what they wanted to tell, she's making a joke about all of this. She's taking this very lightly. She's acting as if Shayna is not a threat. Now, I know that's the story, and that's a shit fucking story. I know that the end result is going to be Becky Lynch becoming too cocky and too overconfident, and Shayna's going to push her shin in at WrestleMania. Yeah, I know, but that's not the story that should be told. Shayna should be the one invoking fear and striking fear into Becky Lynch. Becky should be fucking threatened right now on Monday Night Raw. Becky should be thinking, how the fuck am I going to take this woman down? I have Ronda's best friend here aiming for me and my spot in my title. Yet Becky Lynch is making a joke out of everything, and that's rubbing off on Shayna in the worst fucking way possible. That's why people don't take to Shayna Baszler. Becky Lynch is so influential. If Becky is making Shayna and this entire storyline out to be a joke, then the fans are going to take it to be a joke. If it was the other way around and Becky was like, oh shit, if you book this in a big girl way, if you book this in a very intimidating MMA-like way, then Becky would be the one who is fearful of Shayna, and Shayna would look like a badass, and people would take to Shayna a little bit better. That's just the way I see it. But Shayna looks like a fucking pushover here. You know? Biting the neck and saying that she's going to tear Becky Lynch's eyes out, or what the fuck she said. She's going to rip Becky Lynch a new asshole. Tear the shit out of Becky Lynch is what she said. And here we got Becky Lynch making a joke out of everything. So how the fuck is that rubbing off good on Shayna Baszler? How the fuck can Triple H book Shayna Baszler brilliantly for 2.5 years? This is the woman that is in Asuka's level as far as dominance goes in WWE. And it takes WWE 4 weeks to kill her, almost, on the main roster. Now Vince is falling out of favor with Shayna Baszler. She's not a main event star in his eyes, for whatever reason. Yet Triple H booked her for 2.5 years perfectly. How is that possible? Goes back to what I said. Triple H creates and Vince kills. It's awful. It really is awful. I want to go with Shayna. I want to go with Shayna because it's in the cards, it's predictable, and it's the only fucking thing that makes sense after what we've seen on TV. It's like WWE gave us a reason not to care about the shit because it's overly predictable. And I usually say that predictable is good. Predictable could be good, but this is a bad predictable because you know what's going to happen. And WWE really hasn't left anything open to the imagination here of anything else happening. So what else am I supposed to believe? Now, nobody gives a fuck about Natalya. Nobody gives a fuck about Liv Morgan. Nobody gives a shit about Ruby Riott or Sarah Logan. Happy Ruby Riott's back, but she's not playing a factor in this fucking thing. Who the fuck is Sarah Logan? Really? Asuka and Shayna, it comes down to those two. Is that the way that they're going to go? Probably not. Why was Ronda Rousey at the WWE headquarters a week before the Elimination Chamber? And then the news after that report surfaced. He apparently is falling out of favor as Vince with Shayna Baszler. It lines up in a very weird and bizarre way. You see one and then you see the other story. It's not, by coincidence that those two things were reported in the same week. Why is Ronda Rousey at the WWE headquarters? Why? Oh, she's talking about WrestleMania next year in Los Angeles. Now, you got all week to come up with something for Ronda Rousey for the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, you want to talk about fucking booking her for next year's WrestleMania? You fucking break. She's there because she wants, or Vince wants her to be at WrestleMania this year. Fuck next year's WrestleMania. WWE has no idea what they're doing for next year's. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing for tonight. You worry about next year's WrestleMania? WrestleMania isn't booked and planned until fucking Royal Rumble. So that's not how this company operates. Yeah, let's start thinking about WrestleMania now for next year. They have nothing planned for this year's WrestleMania. Why is Ronda there? Because Vince wants her at this year's WrestleMania. Vince wants Ronda vs. Becky at WrestleMania. Because he's selling, or trying to at least selling the rights to WrestleMania and WWE shows to ESPN+. So what looks better, Shayna vs. Becky or Ronda vs. Becky? Unbelievable. And then at that point, look at the matches at WrestleMania. You're going to get possibly Ronda vs. Becky if Vince has his way. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm assuming that something's got to happen. Some sort of surprise needs to happen here. Because if Shayna wins and the pay-per-view goes off the air like that, who gives a fuck? Who really gives a shit? If Ronda versus Becky is the match, Ronda versus Becky, Brock versus Drew, Bray versus John Cena, and Roman versus Goldberg. And then you got Edge and Randy Orton and Undertaker versus John Cena. Holy shit, your top 6 matches at WrestleMania include part-timers. Does nobody see an issue in that? They'll glance over, oh my God, that's a great WrestleMania card. This should be the greatest WrestleMania in the history. And nobody will say anything about it, and they'll suck the WWE cock like they usually do. Yet I'm looking at this card, I'm like, part-timer, 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 part-timer. Are you fucking serious? Then you got multi-man matches, multi-woman matches, getting everybody on the card for the sake of the fucking card, because it's WrestleMania and you gotta put everybody on the fucking show. This may be the worst WrestleMania ever. Oh my God. I want to stay safe with Shayna Baszler. But man, it is very difficult to believe that Vince is going to go ahead and book Shayna Baszler versus Becky Lynch. She's not blonde. She's not big-assed. She's not one that's going to be walking around with fucking quadruple D flotation devices. She's not a Barbie doll. She's not going to be the one that the guys are swooning over and drooling over and catching hard-ons over, right? She walks down the hallway with her leather jacket looking all badass with her hair pulled back in a ponytail, you know? The WWE management team is not going to be like, oh my God, man. Like when Alexa Bliss walks down the fucking hallway. They're all turning heads. She ain't that. She ain't that. She don't need to be that. But she's also not Ronda Rousey. She's also not Ronda Rousey. I want to go with Shayna just because it makes sense, but I'm gonna go out there and say Ronda somehow finds herself into the chamber, wins the chamber, and we get Ronda versus Becky 1-on-1, and Ronda wins the Raw Women's Championship. That's what I think is gonna happen. If not, obviously Shayna Baszler is gonna win, and we get the main event, or the Raw Women's Championship match that has been teased on TV with Shayna and Becky at WrestleMania. That's that. Let's see what we got. We got more super chats coming in. Let's see before we get the hell out of here. Who's the last one we left off with? Let me see. Adam, 199 pound super chat. Did you hear about the Last of Us TV show? Yes, I did. I can't wait to see how that comes out. Bryce, $10 super chat. Heard about Meltzer giving the Bucks Omega Page match a 6-star rating. And would you agree with putting EC3 and Bobby Roode together? Like, perfect and Flair, but actually build them up. No. EC3 needs to go to AEW. And Meltzer giving the Bucks Omega Page match 6 stars, it deserves it. Because it was one of the best tag team matches that I've ever seen. RA, 199 super chat. When is Seth and Becky getting married? Becky, I heard, and Seth might be taking some time off after WrestleMania to get married. So, if that's the case, good riddance. Young Bibby, 499 super chat. Do you think Liv Morgan plays a good underdog in the chamber? Something's got to be done, right? I hope so. We'll see what happens. If there's maybe Ruby Riott. I think Ruby Riott deserves that, you know? So we'll see what happens. But yes, I do think someone should be booked like that in the chamber. Saber39, Canadian, $5 super chat. This is for the Final Fantasy VII stream. Already got my pre-order. Can't wait. Love watching your playthrough. I just ordered the Amazon edition, the deluxe edition. I got the soundtrack and the Sephiroth PlayStation 4 theme. Can't wait. Jacob Donnelly, $5 super chat. You're giving me nightmares with Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's just the way I think. I'm just trying to piece this WrestleMania card out the best that I can. Turtle Speed, $5 super chat. Much love from North Carolina, bro. Do you need some moderators for the chat? Well, I'm going to end the stream now anyway, bro. But maybe next time for sure. Kenny Manuel, $5 super chat. JD, you should be in charge. I swear Vince loves to piss the fans off. Yes, he does. He's a fucking goon, and he needs to be removed immediately. And $2 super chat, Turtle Speed. Next time, maybe, bro. Next time, if I remember. Can I be a moderator for the chat? Next time, there will be moderators in the chat to take care of these sex bots. And the chat, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, man. I might as well just disable the live chat, to be honest with you, if this is the fucking way it's going to be. It's awful. Not extreme. Elimination Chamber kickoff is Ryder and Hawkins versus the Viking Raiders. Oh, thank you for telling me not to watch the pre-show. Nathan Hassan. Nathan Hansen. I'm sorry. Hassan. Muhammad Abu. That's what I got in the fucking chat here. Anyway, 199 Super Chat from Nathan. Thank you so much. Oh, we got another one coming in. Michael Carpenter, 327. Yo, JD, hope we have a good show tonight. See you, bro. Thank you so much, brother. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get 1,000 thumbs up before we end the stream. Hit that thumbs up down below. Follow me on... So, first, let me get some music here. Do I got my music? Yeah. There you go. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. I will be live tweeting during the show tonight on Twitter. So make sure you guys join me then. Check out all the other content that you missed on the channel. Down below, Raw, Dynamite, NXT, Off the Script. Tons of content. Final Fantasy VII stream is down there as well. Make sure you guys go and check that out. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Patreon.com/offthescript. Or patreon.com/JD from NY206. And if you guys want to go get your Messiah t-shirts, make sure you guys go and do that. Bonfire.com, as always. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Going over this Elimination Chamber preview and predictions. Hopefully it's a good show. Probably not. Hopefully we get a surprise or two. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you tonight with the official review on the channel after the show goes off the air. Again, thank you for joining me. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you tonight. Live tweeting on Twitter, and then for the official review tonight for the Elimination Chamber.